Kevin, 2019 is almost done. So I wanted to kind of look over what has happened this year. Just kind of top of your head, what was some of the, what are one of the big games that stood up for you as far as like the games you had the best experience with, the most fun, maybe, rather in 2019?
I mean, my number one is absolutely Outer Wilds. Like nothing in my mind this year compares to the way that game made me feel, and like I was in that world at that time.
Yeah.
When I was at work, I was solving puzzles. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do. Some of those puzzles made me feel just absolute so smart when I finally figured it out. And some of the hints are pretty obscure.
Yeah, I remember experiencing that too.
Yeah, so it felt that game was just really, really awesome, and that was probably the first one I'd mentioned from this year.
They really meant or mastered the creating a mood.
Yeah.
And making you feel that mood. And there's few instances of terror that I felt they were so vivid in 2019. One of them was Outer Wilds, like experiencing these crazy planets with living things in them that were goddamn terrifying.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I was just so scared seeing that stuff. I'm like, oh God. And I wanted to turn it off. But like stuff like that, just the way you could explore. I mean, there's open world games up the yin yang as far as like stuff that releases, but this is one where you could just really were free to explore everything. There was that time limit aspect to it with the thing resetting, whatever.
It's pretty long with 22 minutes.
But it's pretty long, and it just felt like you could go anywhere, and it was daunting but fun, and I really liked how they nailed that.
Yeah.
There was a Outer Wilds documentary coming out. So there's that group called No Clip. I always tell you to watch their stuff. They're making one on them, and that's one that's absolutely up your alley because you got to. But
they put out one recently that I needed to check out.
On Bastion or no? I think we just talked about that. There's another game.
Somebody interesting,
yeah. But they're teasing the one now, which is Outer Wilds coming out. Oof. But they did one on Doom that was really good on a bunch of different devs. But yeah, so you would say kind of you would say Outer Wilds is a big one for you this year.
That was my game of the year.
Gotcha.
Personally.
What about, was there any kind of like popcorn thing that you were playing, any kind of addictive game that you were absorbed by it for a little while?
We'd have to look at that list. Like
Gotcha.
if it was
That's
Apex Legend, like the Apex Legend thing, like I remember when that first came out, like to me, that was the amount of fun I had with Apex Legend when that came out.
Yeah.
It reminded me of being in high school, hanging out with the buds, playing Halo.
Gotcha.
Like it's just so fun and goofy.
Right.
And like me and my buds were all together just talking shit at each other. and it was really good fun. So if that did come out this year, then
It did. That's surprisingly it did. So here's a list of 2019 games. So I kind of go in order as far as like relevance to what we've talked about. Slay the Spire. I know you're big on Slay the Spire.
Back when I was in early access forever.
Yeah, did it? I think so. It's on the release date is January 23rd. Is that when it actually came out of early access? Because it's slated for PlayStation 4, Switch, PC for January 23rd.
I got into it about a year, maybe 2 years ago.
Gotcha.
Maybe a year and a half
But
ago.
it was an early access game.
Yeah, early access. Absolutely brilliant game. The mechanics in it are so deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Nice.
Great game. I would put it at great.
Yeah.
It's a classic. Like as far as roguelites go, like there's a lot of roguelites out there.
There are. Would you say 2019 is the year of roguelikes, or is 2018?
I would have gone like 2017 or 2018.
Well, a lot of them do they start in early access to the point where we're seeing like the finished versions of a lot of these games in 2019?
I would say a lot of them start in early access. They get a lot of buzz right out the gate, and then they lose that buzz, and then people kind of half-ass the ending of a lot of them.
Gotcha.
And then also people like they're hard to make. Like when I made that teeny little top-down Hotline Miami, even though that game was microscopic, there was just so much work to debug those things. So
Gotcha.
I think that's why it's really hard for people to finish these.
I see. So yeah, keeping on the list here, we have Resident Evil 2, which came out January 25th.
You can talk about that. Like I
really dug that one.
There was
a lot of games this year. So for Resident Evil 2, that was one of the ones for me that was game of the year. Possibility. I also think this game of the year stuff needs to go away, where there's so many games that come out now. It's hard to say like one game was game of the year. There's almost like a top 5 or top 10 or the best games of the year. This would be in my list of best games of the year. The way I was never fully invested in the Resident Evil games. This one brought me back to it. It was this new engine they're doing. It's very realistic with how everything looks. It's very creepy, but it's also a bit more arcadey. They've improved the mechanics, how you move around, how you interact with your guns and stuff like that. Yeah, very fun, very scary, but maybe not as scared as I felt playing Outer Wilds for those few scenes with those crazy aliens. But
yeah, something I did. Somebody was doing kind of a year wrap up thing, and what they pointed out that they truly loved about Resident Evil 2 was no longer having the door load screens. Actually, they felt made the game scarier because you couldn't get away. If you walk out that door, the zombie could come with you, and you weren't just stressed out by like, oh fuck, I went in the wrong room. Load again. Yeah, like you keep having to do that. It just made it feel more like you're in this mansion. You're stuck there. There's no getting out of there, buddy. The police station, I should say.
That's true. You don't get the not the freedom, but the rest of those cutscenes, those loading screens. Yeah. But especially since now with this game and the next game after this coming up, the 3 remake, you always have somebody chasing you. So it's like you never get a chance to rest because. Yeah.
I forgot the Division 2 came out this year.
Yeah. So we got Kingdom Hearts 3 came out this year too. This January 29th.
And went, dude.
It did. And that was a game that was like, I never thought we would see it release, and it finally released, and then it kind of went away. But
it just wasn't very good.
Apparently.
2 was really fun. So like you couldn't get away from 2 when 2 came out.
Yeah, they kept doing all these different additions to it, right? It was like part 2 something and other. There was like these different like add-ons, but
yeah, and they were all important to the story, which is the shitty thing.
Gotcha.
So there's a bajillion different games. No one had this story straight, so people had to put out like hour-long videos explaining the story.
Yikes. Well, that came out.
Say Ape Out?
Ape Out also was this year, yeah. So Apex Legends, you mentioned having a lot of fun. That was February 4th. So it's actually, it's just because there's so many games this year, they kind of bleed together, and this one felt like a last year game. It was actually this year.
Yeah, guess so.
So we have Tetris 99. Did you play some of that when that came out? That launched with the Switch online service thing.
No, I didn't play it.
Gotcha. I tried to, but my brain could not understand what the fuck was going on, so I just wanted regular Tetris, but there was so much going on. That was February. Crackdown 3, which was a big deal, is one of the Xbox Game Pass games. It came and went. It was kind of lackluster. Far Cry New Dawn. That was that expansion to Far Cry 4, I want to say. Far Cry 5.
Man, February feels like 2 years ago.
Right? Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff that came out February.
Metro. I hear from people that played Exodus, they really liked Metro Exodus.
I have it in my backlog. I need to finish it. It's just like the mood, the timing. It felt like I had to just sludge through it. I was having fun. And then Far Cry New Dawn came out around it, so I was like, this is more arcadey. I'm having more fun. I went to that.
Right.
But I have it. I need to play it. Ape Out came out on Switch and PC on February 28th. You've played some Ape Out yet, or was it one of the free games? Have you downloaded it yet?
I used to play the demo every time I go to Walmart as a kid. Gotcha. I'd blast through that. I had all the memorized where all the monkeys were, so I could blaze through the demo and beat it.
Is that are we thinking of the same game? Because remember the Ape Out is that one jazzy kind of like.
Nope, thinking of the wrong game. I was thinking of Ape Escape.
Ape Escape, where they have the sirens on their head and they're running around. You have to catch them.
So Ape Out, it was free.
Yeah,
and I missed it by a day, so I bought it.
Gotcha. Well, I would say it would definitely be easily, worth the purchase.
I will have to play it.
Gotcha. It's cool. I'm interested to see your take on it. I really like the music on that game. As far as like
dynamic
best music
soundtrack,
kind of stuff, the way
really
they do
cool.
that, it's fucking awesome, and it's paired awesome with or perfectly with what you're doing.
Yeah.
The horrific, violence you're committing against these people is justified because they're trying to keep, this ape in, and he's just trying to live his life.
I'd be so curious to see like with that whole dynamic jazz soundtrack, like could you do something bigger than just this game with that? Could you throw in more mechanics? Could you make like a really crazy, even crazier game than this? Or could you throw in these sort of jazz mechanics into the next Breath of the Wild? Because it already has this weird like soundtrack when you're fighting people. So
do you mean like that is a mechanic where you have to do stuff on beat kind of thing? Or it's just...
Well, you're not doing this on beat. Like it adapts to you.
Right. But are you saying like to create that as an addition to where not only are you... Is the music affecting what you do, but you have to like hurt people in the way that creates a bass drum in the right timing kind of thing?
No, I was just saying adapt to what you do. It was really all.
Yeah, no, I didn't notice any seams with the music, how it's like interlinking the jazz stuff. They do good.
Well, you're generating it. What you do generates the music.
Gotcha. I get that, but as far as like when I don't hear this the point where the game goes, oh, you're doing something here. I have to like switch gears to get this thing going. It all flows together,
right?
Depending on what you're doing. to where it sounded good. As the very little I understand about jazz, it sounded like jazz.
Yeah.
Every time I accidentally put on NPR.
Far Cry 5 supposed to be great.
Far Cry 5 was really cool. Oh, you mean Devil May Cry?
That's what I meant. Devil May Cry.
Yep.
And I watched some people. I watched a lot of streams of that. Just that's some top tier Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry all the way.
The graphics are really good. I forget the engine they used for that, but
I think it's is it the same one as Resident Evil 2?
Possibly, because it's Capcom still, right?
Yep, it's definitely Capcom.
Gotcha.
It's 2000% Capcom.
Now, also in March, so we're on to March now. Baba Is You came out, and that's fair. And I
don't care how many awards you win. I don't care how many people like you.
I feel like they should be able to see that middle finger and go, "Yep, that's fair. Hey, we made it on purpose to be hard as fuck."
It's so fucking hard.
I want a Baba Is You Baby Edition where I can finally wrap my brain around it.
It'd still be called Baba Is You, but it comes with a Baba. It's just a little binky.
That's fine. I'll play it that way.
That's
Division 2. You played quite a bit of this, right?
That shit was fun.
Yeah.
It was a good shooter.
Yeah.
It's probably still good.
I wonder if especially nowadays, like these online communities, they're hard to keep going for a while. But I wonder how that community is now.
I don't know, but that definitely means that did Anthem come out this year?
No, I think Anthem was late 2018, right?
Possibly
2017.
I could swear Division 2 came out, and then maybe it was right before.
You might be thinking Division 1. So
it was
what?
2019.
It was.
So which one was first, Division or Anthem?
Wow. Okay, so we're on February. That did not show up on my list of games here for February.
Well, it's not really a game. But
Damn. Shots are fired. Yeah, for some reason I'm thinking that was 2018, but it's 2019.
I think, wasn't that before Division? Because I remember thinking I was going to tide myself over for Division with this.
So this is February 22nd, and Division 2 was March 12th.
Okay, so this was supposed to tide me over. But yeah, Division, I'm not huge into these Destiny, these live service games, but that was just a fun shooter, and it didn't really matter, my gear kind of mattered, but it's just like, hey, just have a good gun and go have a good time. You're with 5 other people just shooting the shit out of everything.
Gotcha.
So it was good.
Yeah, I wonder, could they benefit from a single player? Does it need to happen in that world?
Not really.
No?
I mean, it's more fun with 5 people. And generally, when I played it, at least, I would go back and help people. Because I couldn't figure out how to go forward in the story, so I replayed the same mission 10 times.
Gotcha.
But it was nice to go back and help people because when I would do missions, people would come back and help me, so I was paying it forward.
Is there some kind of benefit to where players are incentivized to go and help people, or they just wanted to help people?
Could be. I don't know.
Gotcha.
But I had fun doing it, so... Gotcha. I mean, that was the thing. The missions were just fun. It's like replaying a Halo mission. Oh no, I get to have fun again?
Would you attribute that to the level design, or just the loot you'd gain, or your loadout? What kept it fun every time?
I would give it sort of everything. So the level design was very good, and all the levels felt very different and visually different. The gameplay itself was really fun. The enemies are fun to fight. And they were challenging. And then, actually, back to that level design thing, with 5 people, those levels were big and expansive. So you and all 5 of you are spread out doing your thing. And
there was layers or levels rather, so you can go up and stuff. Gotcha. That helps with when you have more people on screen too, to go up and down and all around. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice came out. I have yet to play it. This is not really up my alley, but it was Game of the Year for Game Awards. So
it's supposed to be great.
Yeah. Risk of Rain 2, that was your jam.
Fucking great. So good.
That was in March 28th.
I should go back to playing it.
Yeah. I think it's on Switch now, or there's a trailer for it.
That's got to run like donkey dicks on Switch. There's just too
the
much
Witcher's
shit.
on Switch, man. It's a weird world we're in now.
Yeah, but that's with a team that can optimize that shit.
That's true.
And that team still couldn't optimize it enough to run well on the Switch.
That's how I prefer to play The Witcher. Nintendo Labo VR kit came out. This is April 12th. I just find that relevant just because they're still being Nintendo and still making weird stuff, and it wasn't them getting into the VR world. It was just kind of a cool toy that they kind of did with the Switch. Katana Zero, which was I had fun on Switch. I need to go back to it.
Yeah,
That
you
was
said
April.
you liked that.
I liked it. It was really cool, unique art style. Mortal Kombat 11 came out, and it's still kind of it was big on like Game of the Year stuff as far as fighting games go. Did it win Game of the Year, fighting Game of the Year on Game Awards? I feel like it did.
I can't remember.
Gotcha. I feel like it did. So that was on April 23rd. We got Days Gone. That was one of the last PlayStation 4 exclusive titles. For this
That's
year.
right. That game you're never gonna finish.
No, I never will. I think I'm done trying. Maybe one day. But it's Sony Bend made that one. It's a beautiful world too. I really want to give it a chance.
Yeah.
Maybe one of these days. Rage 2. I had a lot of fun with Rage 2. Played a lot of that fucking game. I think you played it too, or I'm thinking of Borderlands where you had to,
No, I did. I did play. I had
Yeah.
to look down at the ground in Rage 2 because my computer didn't have. I think I would like it enough to finish it.
Yeah.
Because you finished it.
I did.
So I think I'd like it enough to finish it. Was there like what did you really enjoy about this game? Because you blitzed through that pretty quick.
I did. I think it's a big testament too. So Bethesda was able to use
Blame this on it's not even id Software. That's Machine Head Games.
No, Avalanche is the one who developed it, right? But
there we go. Yeah, Avalanche.
They're able to use like the mechanics of Doom, like as far as the gunplay and stuff. Even the shotgun is like 1-for-1. That was a big deal. If this didn't have that, it would have been rough. Because like the open world was still cool, it was beautiful, but the story was really lackluster. The gunplay was awesome. So it's the fact that it had Doom infused in it, that's what made it so fun. And the world was still it was beautiful though. Like it was a Mad Max Fury Road, version of Rage, and so that's what made it was the world that they built around it, and also the gunplay was really fun. So that's what kept me going to the end. But also as you're experiencing the story, which I can give two shits for, you're gaining abilities. So that's what was fun for me, just gaining all these different new abilities, and then you feel like a badass just jumping around. But yeah, that's fun. We have Void Bastards. I wanted to like that game more.
Yeah,
right.
It's not the game I wanted it to be. I think that was the problem.
And maybe that's me coming into it like expecting something else, but yeah.
Like, it's the makers of BioShock and shit. I was like, it's
Right.
gonna be like a roguelike BioShock, and like I was even getting those vibes going into it, and then it fell off.
And the art style is really cool.
Yeah.
For me, that's I think that's why I live my life too. Whatever visually looks cool, that's what I'm drawn to first, and then I start to get into it. But like when I pick a beer or a wine, I go by the bottle.
Yep.
When I pick my video game, I go by what it looks like. And this art style was really cool. I'm interested to see what they do next for sure.
Yeah.
Outer Wilds. This is your pick for Game of the Year, May 3rd.
My GOTY.
Yeah, that was really good. We talked about that for sure. So we'll see. Now it was a PC and Game Pass title. I think now it's on PS4.
Yeah.
And so we'll see what else it comes out on. But Cadence of Hyrule, that was kind of a sneaky release where I think it was it a Nintendo Treehouse, whatever they do, where they have those like just announcements.
I don't think the release was sneaky, but the announcement was sneaky.
Yeah, that's true.
No one saw that coming.
Right. Yeah, because they teamed up with that developer that does the Crypt of the
Brace
Necrodancer.
Yourself Games.
Is that what it's called?
Yep.
Brace Yourself or Race Yourself?
Brace Yourself.
Gotcha. That's a dope name.
Yeah.
Did you get to play? I actually downloaded Cadence of Hyrule, but I couldn't get the timing thing right, and so I gave up. I always I have it. I should go back and play it again, but
I would if I could. I can't play Necrodancer on a controller, and since this is on Switch only, I can't. I would struggle. Maybe the buttons are a little bit flatter, so maybe not. But I'd like to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. My Friend Pedro came out June 20th. That was fun. Kind of weird. So this spawned us eventually playing that game with the dude who's shooting two guns in slow motion. Why am I blanking on the name? But we rented it or we bought it, got it on PS3.
John Woo's Stranglehold.
Stranglehold, yeah, because this is very much that. Like this only exists because of Stranglehold.
Yeah.
But it was like a 2D version of that.
Man, Stranglehold was a lot of fun until it suddenly wasn't.
Right? I wish that those first like 3 levels kept going, but it got rough.
Even like in those first 3 levels, there were moments of just like, I'm still standing in this area, just shooting the same people over and over. I must say, I'm a little bit concerned of how many of these titles you've bought.
Yeah, and have not finished. Yeah.
This is a lot of games. Now, I don't know how many are on Games Pass, so that may...
Some of them are. Well, at least 2 are right now. But a lot of these, now I can't do that because of just like the new house and stuff, but like that's when I could. I could buy... Like I think I bought Super Smash Bros. and I played it very little. But it was
Yeah.
a lot of these are games that like
we
my
need
nephew.
to play that, damn it.
I do.
Like I'll dumb it down.
Yeah.
We'll just slap each other with the power moves all day, and it'll be fun.
Yeah, I need to get into that. A lot of these games I still have. I guess for whatever nuclear winter that happens, I have all these games on my backlog.
Speaking of games you bought, we got
Super Mario Maker 2.
We got 2 more in a row.
Yeah, Super Mario. Yeah, you're fucking right. Super Mario Maker 2 came out for Switch. That was a pretty big deal. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which is a Switch exclusive, came out. Played like 30 minutes of it. It's fun, but I don't know if I'll ever go back to it.
Yeah, we should just get shit faced and beat it.
Yeah, Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah,
I'm down.
So you can play that blackout drum.
I think I'm pretty sure you can. You can't. It's hard. It's already hard enough to tell which character's yours when you're coherent and seeing on screen. But when you're drunk, you're just throwing out the window.
I'm pretty sure you just like mash the button.
Yeah, but like the button to switch characters is also so easy to hit, where you're just switching characters, mashing buttons. It's like it's just.
But does that work the same when there's multiple people?
Good question. I think you can only switch between other CPU or PC players, but yeah, it was chaotic.
But you really like Super Mario Maker 2, though, didn't you?
I did. I played a good amount of it, and also my one of my nephews has it, and he's always playing it, like always making these levels, and will challenge me to beat them, and then I instantly beat them, and then he gets super upset, or he makes it impossible to beat, and he's like, "Here you go." And I'm like, "Dude, no one can beat this."
Dude, I just wish that game existed when I was a kid.
Oh yeah. That's it's funny because now you have a younger generation who's gonna just start out the gate with this stuff, like all these various creative tools that are approachable.
Yeah.
And so we'll see, like the sky's the limit. What kind of stuff they're gonna create now?
Like you think millennials have a hard time getting jobs now? Wait until this next generation enters the market, and they're like, "All right,
I'm proficient in Mario Maker 3, and
I've been making levels since I was 2."
Yeah, it's gonna get harder and harder. Wolfenstein Youngblood came out.
Came and went.
Yeah, it came and went. I really loved the last couple of Wolfenstein, so I want to get back into that. Control, which is my game of the year, came out August 27th. We're in August now. Damn.
That's Control's a lot of people's. I should just play it. It's definitely a lot of people's game of the year, and I think deserved.
I highly recommend it. The art style alone just fucking triumphs over everything else that came out this year. The gameplay was awesome. The feeling of I played this maybe a month before I played Jedi. And there's a lot of correlation between them. The way you can fly, the way you can attack people. It's like they give you all these abilities that are very much like a Jedi, the way you're moving around. Yeah. The movement was perfect. I always wish I clicked more with is it Remedy who does these other games like they did?
Right.
Alan Wake. They did the other actiony game, which was Quantum Break.
Oh, that's right.
I wanted to click more with Quantum Break. And so this is them just like perfecting all the different skills and the weirdness, the out of left field stuff with the story, unique level design, and then the gunplay. They nailed it with this one. But yeah, so that's for sure my game of the year. Knights and Bikes. I know you were into that one.
I should play it.
Yep. Astral Chain. Did you play this one? That was August?
Yeah, fuck yeah, I did.
Gotcha.
That game was badass. I wouldn't give it a single award, but it's fucking great. Yeah. Holy shit. It was so fun. The graphics are great, especially for the Switch. I should finish that game. I never will, but I should. Yeah. I'm probably not that far from the end.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a hard life to try and finish all these games. But Creature in the Well, that was that pinball kind of game that was.
Oh yeah, you played that, didn't you?
Yeah, I also jumped into it randomly a couple of days ago, and it's fun. There's a lot there that I need to keep going with. That was September. We have Gears 5 September 10th. Also kind of came and went. It was really fun. Very beautiful looking game.
Did you buy that
more
one?
Gears. That was a Game Pass game. So
there you go. There you go.
Borderlands 3. How did you feel with that one this year as far as like Game of the Year stuff?
That may be the funnest game I played this year. It's just stupid. It's so fun. Yeah. That's in my opinion the best Borderlands, and it's definitely the best gameplay. Some of the best gameplay I've played all year. It's just stupid fun. Oh, so fun. So fun. I should play through it again with a different character.
Have you beat the final? You beat the single
player,
beat
it.
Right?
Yeah, because it'd been like months of me saying like, "Oh, I'm still playing. No, I'm still playing." But I should play through again with a different character. It allows you to like ratchet up the difficulty a little bit, but you get better gear when you replay
like
through it again.
Plus kind of thing.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. So I should definitely do that.
Nice. Yeah. So this game, I know you didn't play it, but it was just funny because I know fan of this movie, but Groundhog Day came out of left field with the VR game that they announced, Like Father Like Son. It came and went. It was September, but yeah, maybe one day if I get some kind of VR thing, we can play it.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna play.
I don't know.
That's what we're gonna.
That's the
play.
first game I'm downloading. Is Groundhog Day. Sayonara Wild Hearts. That was just Game of the Year stuff. I didn't play it. I don't know if you played it at all, but that was September.
I would.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that long, and it just looks like a cool visual journey.
Right. This one was a lot of Game of the Year award kind of nominees. So Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening came out September 20th on Switch. You played it and finished it, right? Yeah. What do you think? Overall, summarize it.
It's so it's not a now I love it's absolutely one of my favorite Zeldas. It got me introduced to Zelda. It introduced a shit ton of people to Zelda. So it's in my heart, it's definitely one of the best Zeldas out there. That being said, it's definitely a very polished okay game nowadays. It's pretty good, and
That's always the trouble with like bringing
Yeah.
back these games to life.
It's still got heart. I'll still play it again.
Yeah.
I really liked it, but
I would say cutest game of the year, right? I don't know. The next game here, it's giving it some fucking competition. So.
Knights and Bike was also pretty. There were some pretty cute games this year. I'm not gonna.
So Untitled Goose Game apparently came out the same day. That's
Did it? Oh no.
As far as like cute games
that's
or just unique, unique ideas with Untitled Goose Game. That was one
It was
of
a
them.
unique idea.
And
No
it
one
came
was
out of left
making
field.
that game.
No.
Nobody.
We didn't realize we wanted this game, and now I want 10 Goose Games like this. And I want Beaker in the Goose Game now for sure.
Yeah.
That was September. Dauntless, which is just kind of a out of left field, free to play multiplayer kind of thing. But that released and it's there.
Dauntless.
Yeah, it's like it's a class.
Oh no, that game's been in early access for like ever.
I think this is on here because it came to like PS4 or Xbox. Or
Yeah,
something like
I think
that.
it officially like came out of early
Yeah.
access and it came to Switch. It's basically Monster Hunter,
Gotcha.
and then it came out shortly before Monster Hunter did,
Well,
which was a
good luck.
choice.
Yeah. Ghost Recon Breakpoint, which was not for me, but it was that style of shooter. I know it kind of didn't hit whatever sales figures they wanted, or critic
Was
wise.
a buggy mess.
I don't know about Buggy Mess, but I know it just
It was a
wasn't
buggy
unique
mess.
enough. That wouldn't surprise me. But yeah. John Wick Hex came out October 8th. I know that was a lot of build up where I was excited for this, but then once playing, I thought maybe the gameplay isn't for me, but I wanted to have more fun.
It got reviewed so well, which just
It did.
baffles me.
See, I didn't play enough to really to think about it either way, but I want to get into it. But I could tell right off the bat, it's maybe a bit more challenging or punishing than I would like it to be. But yeah,
I just didn't feel tactical. I just felt like I was slowly not having fun.
And maybe there's that hump, that curve you got to get over. I don't know.
Maybe. I remember I got to once I finished the first area, I got the choice to upgrade myself, and I'm like,
I don't care.
I can be slightly less shitty. I don't, and maybe that would feel cool. Like maybe this because it is a prequel, so maybe you start out the game, a shitty.
He's already
shit.
badass at that point in the game, but yeah.
Is he?
Or in the
I
story
don't know. Probably. But yeah, so you start off kind of shitty, and maybe by the end you're just super elite. You can do 5 moves at once, like dodging bullets, Keanu Reeves style. But
that might have been a game where they start you off with your stats all the way up, and then you lose them, kind of like was it Metroid or some kind of style where you start it with everything, and then you lose it,
and then you get it back.
Yeah,
that would have been
see
cool.
A taste of
that
what it could be
cool.
like.
I would have liked that.
They should talk to me.
Yeah.
Killer Queen Black.
Game's the tits.
Yeah,
that game is so fun. It's so fucking fun.
You put me on
stressful.
Yeah, it looks
stressful. Like you play like a round or two, and then you take a break.
That's what the box art just.
It's just nonstop when you're in it. There's no breaks. There's just go.
Yeah.
You're on a mission. The other people are doing a good job. You're doing like fuck.
It seems very complicated as far as just like the amount of moving parts that can happen. But in a good way. I just haven't played it for myself. But yeah. Disco Elysium, which was the top of a lot of Game of the Year awards. Haven't played it, but yeah. We got Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I would give this my funnest Game of the Year award because I had a lot of fun playing this. Yeah, well, for me specifically, the multiplayer, the way they kind of brought back the Call of Duty original Call of Duty Modern Warfare gameplay and the nostalgic factor of it. I was having a blast playing this, and it brought me back to that era. But and then the single player is really cool, really polished. But that'd probably be my funnest game of the year. We got Luigi's Mansion 3. This one is a lot of the game of the year stuff. I need to play it. I don't know if you have any interest in that.
I mean, I played 1 and 2.
Yeah, I never played those.
I don't know. I may play it.
Yeah.
I feel like I've kind of played it twice already. Like, I don't know what this is going to bring.
Yeah. Apparently there's the new features, like you have Guigi and stuff, and other aspects to it that are that are fun.
I almost don't know if, like, you almost just play these games to experience, like, the mansion. Like, the mansion's just kind of a cool puzzle, or at least it was in the first two. But the second one had multiple mansions, which was kind of neat.
Oh, okay.
But this one's like one big fuck off hotel.
Right, that's true. I forgot about that.
I don't know. Maybe I'll play it.
I do. I'm waiting for some kind of sale, but they really never have.
Nintendo
sales
doesn't do that.
No, they don't fuck around with that. You're paying $60 or nothing.
You'll be paying $60 for the next 30 years.
Yeah. I always remember that with the original Mario 64. It stayed $60 forever.
Yep.
It
They know they don't have to put it on sale.
They do. They know their worth, Kevin. Death Stranding came out November 8th. That was a game that I don't think any of us ever saw, or in the future could picture a day where it actually came out, because it was teased for so long. So many trailers, they didn't explain what was going on, and then it actually fucking came out.
Yeah.
Pretty dope. And it's coming to PC, I want to say early next year or late next year, but there's that PC release. Death Stranding. Pokemon Sword and Shield came out November 15th. That was a game. I'm not a huge Pokemon
Kinda
fan.
came and went as well. Like, people are still playing it.
I think people are still playing it, but I wonder. There was some controversy with them omitting or taking out various amounts of Pokemon that are normally in the games. So there was drama with that and reusing animations and stuff. I don't know whatever happened with that, but Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. This is one that I got to play. This is November 15th.
Pretty big
I had a lot of fun. I was initially very frustrated playing the game, but then I got over whatever kind of hump or figured out the mechanics and exactly what they wanted me to do as far as like the timing goes with the fighting part of it. But then I started having way more fun with it. Had a blast. The story was really cool. The game is super beautiful. Had a lot of fun with that game. Yeah, that's the entire year as far as games go.
Looks like we missed December.
Did we?
Or are you one of those people that ends it?
Well, nothing really came out in December, is what I'm thinking. That's why it ended there.
I don't know.
Pretty sure I'm right. I think I'm right.
I still, like, for whatever reason, my head though. What's it called? Not Bard's Quest. Wonder Song. For whatever reason, in my head.
I think that was on the list, and I didn't put it on here, but you're right.
No, it was last year, because I remember Game of the Year awards came around, and I'm like, no, that was this year. For whatever reason, it's in my head that it came out this year. So, in my head, that is still my Game of the Year. But
gotcha.
Yeah, that was a crazy, stupid good year of games.
Crazy good year. It's a lot, and it's not getting any better as far as like the reprieve, the break in between games. It's just every year, it's just nonstop. Yeah. Maybe it'll be a bit because we're getting a new generation of games, and usually the beginning first year, as far as console games go, that first year is always rough. It's always like third-party stuff. It's like EA whatever, and then you get these like tailor-made games that come out. But I think this is a weird generation where there's a lot of overlap, where like games are available on like many different consoles now. You have like the PS4, PS4 Pro, and then PS5. A lot of games are going to be playable on each of them, so it's going to be a weirder kind of time. But
I think it's going to make the transition to this next generation kind of weird too, because we tend to get both sort of a a drought right before the next generation games out, because all these big studios, but we'll also have like long tails of the previous generation where we're still getting these games on the previous generation.
Yeah.
And this is probably going to be, because there's just so many people making games, I think this is going to be the most seamless generation jump ever made, because we're still going to have a shit ton of current generation games.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And even if a ton of studios stop making games right now and start making them for next gen, we could have a shit ton of those games too. So this is going to be, we're still going to have too many games.
It's not going to get any better. I think you're right.